This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, perfect. So let me look at your, awesome, okay. I wonder, my only concern, I may have to just play around with the formatting a little bit to take out the dashes.
Okay.
Just so you know. So I'll figure that out. That shouldn't be too difficult.
I can edit that and send you an updated document.
If it's easy, then sure, that would be great. But if not, I'm happy to
Okay.
do that. Yeah, all of this looks great. Perfect. So then, okay, so awesome. So what I'll do is I will, the first thing I'm going to do is run a fake student import. So I will basically import this as just a student file to make sure everybody's in here. And then, and they should be, but just in case someone left and didn't tell you or something and they're not in the new file. And then I will import their case files. And that all looks good. So I'll do that. And then let me look at the accommodations. I see. Okay, so like this is this student. I'm just gonna do this for.
All right. Do I have to do that every? How do I ask this? Fill the blanks.
I think that once I do it now, we should be good, unless unless you're bringing in more data. Yeah, I just each one needs to have the ID number. And then are these all approved accommodations? Is it okay if I just fill in the Y? Okay. Perfect. Okay, and then none of them expire, so they're all good. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this one, no accommodation. So can I just take this one out of the file?
I believe I forgot to fill that blank.
Okay, it's for. I can tell you. Okay. Okay, it's for this student.
So it should be one accommodation per row.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so I can send you that ID, but if you just want to send me their accommodations, I'll just import those separately.
Okay.
Actually, let me not do that. Okay. All right. Awesome. So then I think that that's good. This all looks good to me. So I will just update this without the dashes. I'll do the import. And then if you just want to get me the accommodations for that one student, I'll put those in after. But this looks great. And it's a pretty small file, so it should be very quick and easy. I'll see if I can do it tomorrow.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. And then
I was worried at first because when I saw the pick list, most of the accommodations were not there. So I think I need to update the pick list.
Okay, I mean, you can technically, when I do the import, it will add them on to the end.
Oh, okay,
so,
perfect.
And so as long as they are formatted the same, so like, as long as, another student who has this accommodation has it written the same way, it will just add. So like this, perfect. These are written exactly the same way, so they will just add one accommodation to the pick list.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was worried about that. And I was trying to shorten all the accommodations because every accommodation is like one sentence or two. So I try to shorten them.
Okay. So did you go through this list and here's what I would say. If any of the accommodations on this page are the same as these but shorter, I would go in and replace these with the shorter names.
Yeah.
That's the one change I would suggest that you make ahead of time.
Okay.
So what you can do actually, if you want, is just update this. And if you just want to, well, do you know how to update the pick list?
I don't know.
Okay. All you would really want to do is under tools, you'll go
Tools.
into, yeah, you'll go from tools to pick lists.
Okay.
And then it's the very first list. It's accessibility accommodation, requested accommodation. So you'll click on
Okay.
the title, and then all you have to do is, if it's replacing one of these accommodations, you just click on it and you would just, paste in the new, just replace it with the new language. If you're adding a new accommodation, you can just use the little plus sign at the bottom and that will build a new value. You just fill it in and then you hit save when you're done.
Okay, perfect.
So how about this? Do you think that today, or maybe by the end of day tomorrow, do you think you could update the pick list just to reflect the new values in your import?
I can do that on the weekend.
On the weekend. Okay. So then I'll just check in with you on Monday and make sure that, or I'll check the pick list and make sure it's done,
Sure.
but I'll wait to do the import then until
Sure. Yes.
like Monday or Tuesday. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Let me write
Yeah,
that in.
I noticed there was a lot of accommodations that were not in the pick list, so I was worried about that.
Okay, yeah, that's totally fine. It's just that what we care about is if you are changing any of these. And so if
Yeah.
these are being changed, you just want to replace them with what they'll be changed to.
Yeah.
And that's all I really need you to do. Okay.
Yeah. For example, I believe additional time was not on the pick list, and that's one of the most common
Mhm.
accommodations we have in the office.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I will say next time we meet and we've gotten all that in, I want to run through this pick list with you and just make sure that we have the right accommodations connected to the right modules and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Do I have to specify, for example, um, for additional time, we the most we gave students is 1 hour, but the minimum is 30 minutes.
okay.
So we have those two options. Should I have two different accommodations?
Yeah, you can. In that, if you can do that, what's nice is that in here, if this is an extended time accommodation, or like if I create a new one, I can say, okay, this needs to be connected to the testing module, and when a student requests an exam, we either add 60 minutes or 30 minutes, or we multiply their testing time by a certain number.
All right.
So yeah, just definitely make those two separate accommodations, and then once we've got them in, we'll make those connections in here.
Okay, excellent.
Perfect. Okay. Um, okay. And so now, let's pull up Edward's email. So, okay, so perfect. So you'll update the pick list over the weekend, and I'll import the legacy data next week. Okay. And then
Yeah.
you'll just send me the accommodations for that one student.
Yeah.
Okay. And then here's what Edward
Yeah.
said.
Besides that, I have not sent you the material list because we got new materials today, so we are still updating that list.
Okay, no problem. That is totally fine. So with what Edward said, some good news and some other news.
Yeah.
So it sounds like I can respond back and say that we still need the first and last name fields for student and faculty.
Yeah.
We can use the import without it, but it would be better if we could have those.
Yeah.
And then it sounds like he already set up the login. Basically, like what we usually like to do is set up some type of single sign-on so that students can just use their Puerto Rico login. And it sounds like they can do that. So
Yeah.
so that's great. So he's already done with that. So that means when your students are logging in to accommodate, they should be able just to log in with their Rico information, University of Puerto Rico information. And then the schedule file. So it sounds like they're working on it, but he's still waiting. And then he said he can automate the files. So he said it can be coordinated by the developers of the IT department that every time you request the files. So he said he is available on Monday the 13th at 1, and so am I. So I'm going to send out a meeting. I'll add you and Kiara and Valerie and everyone. So we can talk about some of this, but I will respond back and just say, like, okay, we just need these 2 extra fields, and then can he connect me with the people in the IT department, or can he ask them just to automate the drop so that the files update and drop every day? So I'll respond and say those things. And then I'll also say Monday sounds good. I'll send you the invitation, and we'll see what we can figure out. So it's good to have an update. I think we still may need to do some manual student imports at the beginning of the semester. Cool. Okay. IT. So need first and last name fields for student faculty file. IT working on schedule file and automation. Need to timeline with developers. Single sign-on complete. Okay. Great. Those are the big updates. And then you're working on your equipment inventory, so that's good. I still think that in terms of when you launch that, we just still stick with accessibility, workflow, appointments, and equipment. We won't have schedule. You won't want to import the schedule file every day. I'm not even sure we'll have it. So I think that going with this plan is probably the best and most functional use of the system. Do you have any questions about any of that?
No, I believe we will not be ready by January, I think, but we are okay with that right now. So even if we start at late January, so that will be fine with us. So
okay. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I know you've practiced a bunch in the system, so I know you're pretty ready. I think at this point, we'll just get legacy data in. We'll hope to get IT stuff moving more quickly. And then I'll send the meeting out for Monday, but do you, let's see, I'll send the meeting out for Monday. And I would say, why don't we just plan to, if we finish the IT discussion early, we can just check in about any other questions you have on Monday. Does that work? Just to use that meeting for both.
That would be great.
Okay.
Yeah,
that way we
I
don't
will
have to
be
schedule.
talking with Valerie and Mariel to see what other questions do they have.
Perfect.
So.
Okay. And then would you be game to schedule a meeting? When do you come back? Do you have a holiday break, I imagine?
Yeah.
A couple weeks. When do you come back to campus, or when does work start up again for you?
So I was supposed to end my internship this semester at December, but I believe I will be back for January. I want to keep working with you. So yeah, I believe I will be back to the office.
Okay.
For my last semester.
Okay.
I will be back. I believe if I do come back, it will be like January 15, if I can recall. Yes, 15, I believe.
Okay. So let's see. Okay. So why don't we, how about this? I'll send, because I think what I want to do is, if I can schedule with you, perfect, but I would also love for Valerie and Kiara to be there in that meeting in January. So maybe I'll send some meeting options for that second and third week, the 10th and the 17th, both of those weeks, and I'll just send some options, and maybe the team can decide for everyone what works, if that sounds okay. Okay.
Yeah, that will be great. Valerie could not meet with us today because today was her last day of classes.
Okay.
So yeah, we are still kind of busy this week, but yeah, we are done next week.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, well, we'll meet on Monday, so that'll be great. And then I will send some times for the beginning of January. I'll respond back to Edward, I'll copy you on that, and then we'll see if we can hopefully make some moves with that. If not, on Monday, we'll chat on Monday, I guess, about kind of what to do, but you know how to do the import. And so I think it'll just be, we'll see what we can find out from Edward. And if the automation from their end can get started right away, then you don't need probably to worry about doing an auto import, I don't think, or doing a manual import. If they can't do it right away, then I think we just need to figure out how you can get updated copies of the file so that you can do the import. So that'll be something definitely to talk about on Monday.
Yeah, that will be perfect. Yes.
Okay.
Man, tomorrow is my last day of classes, so
Okay.
after I'm done with my classes, I will be working on the remaining documents, the legacy data, the
Perfect.
accommodation import.
Yeah.
So that will be done by Monday. And the
Awesome.
equipment, I believe the equipment document will be done too.
Sounds good. I mean, and whenever you get that done, that's usually a super quick,
Yeah.
easy import. So no problem. Okay. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me. I'm glad we heard back from Edward and we can start to figure out a plan. I think we're moving forward for sure, which is good.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Hannah.
Absolutely.
Have a great
Yeah,
day.
thank you.
Take
You
care.
too. Take care.
See you.
Bye.